Our guest speaker today is Marco Velotta from the City of Las Vegas Planning Department and the Office of Sustainability. Our show is sponsored by NV Energy and produced by the Green Alliance of Nevada. Marco, we've been talking about the Planning Department of the City of Las Vegas and its Office of Sustainability. How do the City of Las Vegas administrative offices conserve energy, water, and other resources?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So we have about a third of our overall electricity goes to buildings and facilities. So that could be parks, that could be our city hall, our detention center, for example. Another third is of our electricity is through street lights, and another third is through wastewater treatment operations. So we looked at each one of those sectors to see how we can conserve energy, and we did a multi-pronged approach with renewable energy and energy efficiency. Started off with doing some energy audits on our public buildings, seeing where we were using a lot of our power and natural gas, and then doing energy efficiency upgrades. So a lot of that consists of lighting upgrades, switching over from regular fixtures, incandescent fixtures to LED or fluorescent fixtures, and then our air conditioning and heating upgrades. On one of our buildings, our Development Services Center on Rancho and 95, we put in a new chiller, put in some new windows, did some lighting controls, things like that. And you apply that to our big energy consumers across the city, and we're able to conserve a lot of electricity and money as a result.
That's amazing. Any like kind of rough ballpark estimates on what you're able to save on that?
Well, in 2008, we had an annual energy bill of about $15 million, and after doing all of these improvements to upgrading our street lights to LEDs, putting in the solar PV systems at 40 different locations across the city,
nice.
Doing those energy efficiency measures at our buildings, we're able to drop that down to about $9 million
Wow.
per year, and that was as of last year. I mean, we've seen this steady decrease in overall electricity consumption.
Excellent.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, good effort. And basically, how you also implement recycling efforts too through the city.
We do. We were one of the first within the state to take recycling throughout the entire city in terms of our operations, not only in our at our city facilities and in the workspace, but also in the public as well. So we converted about half of our trash receptacles at parks, for example,
Right.
into recycling containers, and we're able to capture that diversion. Instead of that going out to the Apex landfill,
Right.
instead it's going to the Southern Nevada recycling facility instead.
That's
So we
fantastic.
do that, and we also recycle a lot of other special materials. For example, like bullet casings at our training.
How about
range.
that?
Paints, automotive materials, LED fixtures that have been that need to be scrapped, things like that.
Yeah.
Street
So
light
anything in
poles. Yeah.
operations, day-to-day operations that people
Yep.
use. I know paper. You would really try to go paperless for a lot of the office requirements.
Yeah, we do have a lot of functions that are now online, and that cuts down on the paper load considerably. We've also made sure that we get recycling out throughout downtown. So there's a lot of new bins that are side by side trash cans, especially like around Fremont Street. And,
Right, for our tourist
and in
zones.
downtown.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
absolutely.
That's wonderful. Thanks. And also, I noticed within your city fleet, you've also been encouraging alternative fuel vehicles, including you were one of the early leaders in putting charging station infrastructure on different locations around town, so that not only your fleet but the public could adopt electric cars within the city as well.
Yeah, we were one of the first to purchase a Volt, I think,
Right,
within the state. We got on the early list for the Nissan Leaf too. So
Fantastic.
we've had this commitment to clean air vehicles. One of the early policies that we had in a 2008 resolution that was adopted by our city council was to make sure that our fleet was using cleaner burning fuel. So
Tremendous.
we used reformulated gasoline, for a while CNG, compressed natural gas, and then we had an opportunity to purchase these plug-in hybrid and electric vehicles, and so we've continued to do that. And of course, with those vehicles, you of course have to have the charging infrastructure to power them. So we made sure that we got some charging stations, not only for those vehicles themselves at their home locations, but also out in the community. So we have charging stations at a couple of our community centers, and coming soon to Symphony Park, we have 2 new parking garages that are under construction, which will have some electric vehicle charging stations located there as well to complement the ones that we have installed at our
Right across from City
garage.
Hall, right? And that parking garage across from City Hall is pretty amazing. I mean, you have solar on the rooftop, and you've got the charging stations inside. I think the parking office is right there now as well. But it's amazing that that's kind of a real state-of-the-art facility. And you're also talking about a new firehouse that's being built. That's being built to LEED standards, which is U.S. Green Building Council standards of efficiency.
That's correct. We have a replacement fire station over off of Washington and Rancho, and that is intended to be constructed as a LEED Silver fire station. And with that are the green components that add into that, include an electric vehicle charging station and solar photovoltaic system. We make sure that we build our new buildings to LEED standards wherever we can, and we've added a couple of them over the past couple of years. 3 new fire stations have been built to LEED Silver, LEED Gold standards, and
that's fantastic.
And City Hall, of course, is LEED Gold.
And there's certain points when you install these energy efficiency and power generating features, you get more points, and it goes up the ladder to LEED Silver, Gold, and is it Platinum? I think is the highest.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's great. And basically, when we come back, I guess we'll probably talk a little bit more about property assessed clean energy. It's a program that was allowed in our state legislative session, but is something that the city of Las Vegas is taking an active role in right now. Basically, can you talk a little bit about that? Just what's going on there?
Yeah, and we've started down the road of creating this new program for energy efficiency for the commercial and industrial sector, and that has been something that we've been working on for more than 10 years at this point.
Wow, good for you.
With with some of the other jurisdictions in this state, like City of Henderson. It's taken a long time, and earlier in November we just adopted the first resolution for property assessed clean energy in the state. It's common across the country, but this is a new opportunity for some of the commercial and industrial property owners to make improvements to their buildings.
Right, and finance it in a way that it will add value to their buildings over time, and be able to do that up front, and be able to get the money for it. That's great. We'll talk more about that as we come back from the next break. Thank you.